son. Where'd you find this?
Buckle up, buttercups. It's time to get down to business. Oh, yeah. It's the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. Totally legit.
It's the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast, and we have returned, and we have a very special guest for all the purposes of nostalgia. It's Clint Gee.
Hi, everyone. Very, very glad to be back. James and I were fighting for many months. We didn't talk. It was, I just received cryptic emails, threats.
Yeah, on good days.
Yeah. Sometimes just even over TikToks. So he utilized Snapchat to make threats because there would be no proof. They disappear.
Yeah, well, Snapchat is where the violence happens, you know.
Do people even use Snapchat anymore? Really?
Yeah, for violence. Yeah. For sure. Makes sense. And that's bullshit. Your snaps can be saved. Just saying. And
I don't know. I literally, the last time I used that is when I was like single a very, very long time ago. You know what I used it for.
We probably lived in Tennessee. Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Dude, violence.
For sure. Yeah. Those were my shitty days. But yeah, dude, good to be back.
Yeah. How you doing, bub? What have you been up to? Dude, I feel like it's been the fucking global tour of international music sensation Clint Gee.
I wish it was actually fucking touring, but it's just fucking busy. Sometimes you got to work the job that pays the bills, you know, and then work the job that doesn't pay the bills after. And that's what I've been doing. And for my day job that does pay the bills, summertime is like crazy because I do like marketing events. So you have to imagine summer's been exhausting.
All the events are happening. Yeah,
I think we're all feeling it too. Because like everywhere I go, I'm like, "How you doing?" Everybody's like, "I just want a day." Like, I just want a day where I don't have to do anything. Like, yeah, I feel that, dude. And just to squash any rumors, you know, James and I are still very good friends. Everything's fine. We wanted to keep doing the podcast, but just like inconsistent schedules and everything just made it a little difficult, you know. So to the legions of totally legitimate fans out there, we're still good. We're still cool. But yeah, man, no, dude, everything's been good, man. We've since the last time. Shoot, when was even the last time that I was on an episode with you? Like, dude, months ago, like beginning of summer.
Maybe even before that, maybe like May.
Yeah,
March, May.
So since then, James and I have come out with a long-awaited death metal album that we plugged away at for a little while. I've gone out of town with some bands doing some merch. I've scheduled a lot of other things to come out on our Modern Grievance label, which we can probably hint at them today. It's cool. It's not an official press release, but
we'll give it a whole little.
I'm excited. I'm excited about a lot of things, and yeah, unfortunately, you know, as far as the rest goes, it ain't happening because I got a bunch of weddings to go to starting in like September and October. I got a little bit more work travel. I got to travel for myself. I haven't seen my fucking family in so long. They're actually pissed at me. So
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man. So it'll be a good rest of the year. We'll close it out, and then yeah, man, just keep pumping out music and keep doing cool shit. And if the world doesn't fucking implode on us first, because god damn it, every time I turn on the news,
sure seems like it's coming.
Yeah, Northwest is on fire. Hawaii blows up. There's flesh-eating bacteria. But everybody, don't worry. The climate change hurricanes are going to put out the climate change fires, and we're just going to be fine.
But the climate change hurricanes cause the climate change fires. That's the story, at least. The flesh-eating bacteria. The Earth is rejecting us. That's what's happening right now.
I've been saying that for years.
We've disrupted the goddamn order, and now the Earth. It's like that fucking M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Crappening, where the Earth starts emitting the fucking poison that makes people want to kill themselves or whatever.
That was such a cool plot, but like poorly executed.
Yeah, and Mark Wahlberg was a terrible choice.
No, dude, every M. Night Shyamalan movie, we started getting into spooky season here the other day because it like rained for the first time finally. So we're like, oh, here we go. So we started watching like just creepy movies. That new Knock at the Cabin movie, just please don't watch it. It's the most terrible thing. Why?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like, I get that, like, wrestling guys are like, hey, it's kind of like acting. You put it on a show, but it's like they should not be serious actors in any situation where they don't put somebody through a table afterwards, because it's just not entertaining. It's terrible. So Dave Bautista, come at me, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like a real smart idea to pick a fight with Dave Bautista. Yeah, it sounds like a real good idea for sure. That movie was pretty silly. But you know, I must say, like, the flesh-eating bacteria was it for me. I was all the other, like the whales, the shark attacks. I was like, oh, okay. All right. That's a little fishy, but okay. And then like the wildfires for sure. This hurricane season, just getting going. I don't know if you're watching the news at all, but there's already like there are 2 or 3 other systems that they're like probably going to get a name.
I've got to get a name. I got to be in San Antonio in like October, and I'm just like, oh God, please no, dude.
It is possible. No. You'll run into some fuckery there. But the flesh-eating bacteria in the fish, like some primordial shit, melts or is exposed once again, and it makes its way. There was also a thing, I saw a couple of news reports on like fish that hadn't been seen in a very long time, like decades, maybe 100, 200 years.
What, just like coming up to the surface?
Coming up to the surface, and typically that's a sign that like something's fucked.
Well, don't they say
right?
I was reading something too where it's like, isn't like we're due for like a polar shift pretty soon as well?
Well,
that theory is correct.
That I think that we had a polar shift in 2012. It's a thing that happens fairly frequently, and it's not as disruptive as it's made to seem. But it is in the sense that like the natural processes of this planet are affected by that, right? And whether or not it overtly affects us in our daily, wake up and go to do our job. It could be altering the very delicate and fragile ecosystem we have.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
I don't know. The Earth, something is going on for sure. There's like reset vibes in a whole bunch of different areas of life right now.
Do you remember? It's like everybody forgot. Remember when literally the entire world was shut down for probably 2-3 weeks? Like there was nothing going on, right? During COVID, when just everything was on total lockdown,
like for ground zero time.
for everybody, for like a nation internationally, right? Like, and everybody's like, oh, nature's healing. The dolphins are coming back to Italy, and like the waters are crystal clear, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's nice. And then just back to it, like times 10. Like, oh, we need more plastic. We need more oil. We need more oil.
It's a good thing nature got that break, because we're about to abuse it terribly.
No, dude, we're
foreseeable future.
Yeah, we're balls deep in that motherfucker.
But again, like this is the thing that I've always said to people: we're natural. We're of this planet.
Are we?
If the delicate system, yes, in some way, and even if you want to make the argument that we're not from this planet, we need the planet to survive for us to survive.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
If the plants aren't producing oxygen, doesn't matter if we're from Mars, we're going to fucking die because we can't breathe without oxygen. So that's the funny shit to me. It's like, this is a very delicate system that we're just really playing a little loosey-goosey with. And now we're going to start to really, like our generation, dude, we're going to see some very interesting shit. And every fucking year it gets crazier, and it does not get less crazier. So,
well, dude, and that's why, remember like a few years ago, I was still really idealistic, and not that I'm not for certain things. Of course, I want things to be pure and whatever, but a few years ago, it's like you and I both was like, we were eating all vegan diet. Pretty much. We were like conscious of things, and we still are, but like to an extent, I just kind of gave up. I gave up to an extent on that, just because I was like, look, man, the world's ending. I just want to have a good time. And it doesn't matter if I'm eating lab grown meat or not. Like the world's still fucked. Like that doesn't stop the person next to me. It doesn't stop the industry, dude, like
no, for sure. And it doesn't like, what are we going to do? Go fucking cultivate cows and chop them up and grind their fucking meat into hamburgers to make our hamburgers? No, none of us are prepared to do that. None of us possess those skills. Like, even if we wanted to do that, our only option is eating what they're offering us.
No, and it's
so out of touch, you know.
Well, and that's not even a fucking like huge like push. Like, there's nobody's even talking about that because they're still arguing about like God's influence on the government and everything.
Whatever.
All these 80-year-old look. All I'm saying is COVID should have killed more people. And I'm, I know that makes me sound like an asshole, but like, there's too many fucking people, and a lot of them are just real pieces of shit. And if they want to go to heaven so bad, fucking let them. Let's go, buddy. It's time to go.
Well, see, this comes. Death is okay. Death is okay. Like, we're all really afraid of death. It's the only thing that's guaranteed any of us in our lives. Death is okay. It's okay to accept that we're creatures that will at some point die. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're
going to die cold and alone.
Probably the way things are looking. Yeah.
Learn
the way things are looking.
Be okay with that.
That might be the case. And that's okay, because at least for the majority of our lives, we got to live better than most people have throughout the history of humans existing on this planet.
Just enjoy the time you have, and don't think about that moment where the last ember of your torch is fading out as the radioactive wolves are surrounding you, and your friend just got torn apart for the last bit of water that they had. Don't think about that. Just think about, just go ride a bike, go ride your e-bike,
or don't. Here's
or
the thing.
Don't. I don't really care what you do. Just stay the fuck out of my way.
I'm not going to be surprised when people who have never for one moment thought that maybe shit could be different tomorrow. I'm not going to be surprised when they lose their mind. This is why it's important to contemplate death, contemplate your mortality, because this life is so fragile. It can so easily be taken away. And what better way to appreciate your life than by contemplating your death? So you and I, we're prepared. We've already gone down those dark recesses in our mind so many times, in so many different circumstances. We're prepared. We're ready for that mentally, and most of society isn't. And frankly, that's going to be the problem. The problem for me, the comet is going to be entertaining. For some people, the comet is going to be very unsettling.
So you think it's the comet?
I think whatever the metaphorical comet is, I'm just using that because it's the most, visually appealing. Like, and ultimately we're facing multiple comets because we're talking about a number of different ways that we are living unsustainably on a crash course in, again, a million different directions, with a million different layers of modern society. The comet is obviously just one that trumps them all, but earthquake, dude, we're overdue for a fucking earthquake. We're overdue for a volcano eruption.
West Coast is
very
overdue.
There's for sure some reality to that scenario, and again, with the magnitude of everything that we're experiencing every year getting more extreme, the heat, the hurricanes, the storms, the flooding. Burning Man is flooding, Clint.
Yeah, that's a true sign of the end times.
Burning Man is flooding. So,
those people are all going to be fine, though. And even if they're not, it's okay.
I think a couple people died or were hurt already.
Yeah, but somebody gets hurt I know a dude that was like, there was no natural disaster. He just fell off of a structure.
Yeah, it's going to happen at an event. Yeah, it's going to happen. I'm just saying, like,
where everybody's seeing aliens and shit.
The party barely started and some rains fell and then he got hurt. It's like they weren't even burning shit at this point,
The man wasn't even burning.
The man wasn't even on fire.
Yeah, and that's fine. And look, and I live in a part of the country that is like very overdue for
what Mount St. Helen. What's the volcano near you?
So yeah, I mean, Mount St. Helens, like pretty much all of them, they say could be, like all the big ones could be.
No, sure.
Active. Like even like Rainier, they say could technically, but like I don't think anybody's worried about that one. But yeah, it's the Oregon ones that are. Yeah, St. Helens blew up in the 80s. It could easily do it again. Mount Hood supposedly has some activity. That's like the next nearest big mountain next to St. Helens. I mean, yeah. And then, yeah, they say that even like Mount Rainier could have some kind of activity. There was like people freaked out like a year or two ago because I guess something happened. There was some big smoke ring or something next to it. And people were like, oh, it's erupting. This is it. Yeah. It ended up being like some bullshit, like some weird weather pattern. But yeah, it's fine. And Seattle's 174 feet above sea level. Like, I'm fucked. When that tsunami hits,
yeah, you're toast.
We're done. We're done.
You're toast. Even an earthquake, because after the earthquake comes a tsunami. There's nothing we can do.
No,
there's nothing we can do about that.
No.
So
we'll be fine.
Better live it up before you die it up. You know what I mean?
That's a t-shirt. That's a bumper sticker.
I think it was. I can't remember. Maybe it was Dom, Tyler's friend Dom.
Oh yeah,
who said "live it up before you die it up." He used to say that all the time. Maybe it was somebody else, but it was like one of those crew, like one of the bands from Florida or that we like worked with or came to Murfreesboro and played a show.
One of those freak shows. Yeah, I love that. I'll take advice from them.
They came up with some great slogans.
And now
before you die it up is genius.
Yeah. Now they run a bumper sticker factory and they're doing great.
When you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
That's another one. That's another one I saw. That's another great bumper sticker. But yeah, man, everything's fucked. So we're just trying to have a good time. Pack it all in.
I'm not.
You're not trying to have
I already accepted that I'm not even going to have a good time. So
that's fine. I'll see you soon, though.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah. I'm going to see you in what, 3 weeks at this point?
Not even. I think it's 2 weeks. Oh, maybe it is 3 weeks. Yeah. That's going to be a hilarious.
Oh, it's time, buddy.
Hilarious. Good time, bub.
Oh, yeah.
I limited the bar to make sure people get wasted.
I doubt we'll have time to do an in-person podcast, but we'll at least get some video to stick up somewhere.
We'll def get some quality content. There's going to be some next level content organization there that day. I can assure you, buddy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know what you've talked about as far as I haven't listened to every episode since I haven't been around. I saw a couple.
Have you though?
I listened to a couple. Throw it on the back.
Honestly, I was saving it. I didn't really talk about anything because if we're going to talk about it, it makes the most sense for you to come on here and do it.
Yeah.
But before we do this, I'm glad that you came back on here to do this. And because you came back on here to do this, I thought it would be important to make you the proper introduction. So here, just 1 second.
Oh, God.
Now it's time to air your grievances. Bend over and spread them with the Modern Grievance Minute. Modern Grievance Minute. Presented by Clint Gee. If it's free, it's cheap.
All right, it's the Modern Grievance Minute with Clint Gee. Here we are.
Tick tock, tick tock. All right. That was great. Thank you so much. I thought it was going to be far worse than that. I thought it was going to hurt my feelings or something.
No, come on. It's an intro.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to insult you on your intro.
Wow. Well, thank you, buddy. That made me feel very, very welcome. I might even come back.
I mean, we've got an intro. Whenever you want to come back, we've already got an intro for you. So,
fuck yeah. Well, so everybody who listens often might know James and I run a record label. It's called Modern Grievance. We put out music by us, music by our friends, music by bands we're just becoming friends with. But yeah, we put out an album back in the last couple of days of June. A band called The Castle is a Tomb. It was a band we used to tour in when we both lived in Tennessee. Sat dormant for a long time. Put it back up and yeah, made some shirts, made some sick ass cassettes and shit. But yeah, dude, check it out. Every song's like 2 minutes long and maybe 2 and some change, straight to the point, real nasty, early 2000s deathcore hate shit. You're gonna love it.
You're gonna love it, and it's a really feel good kind of atmosphere. If we were to play something off here, what would you choose?
Yeah, let's do that one.
All right, cool. Well, isn't that a feel-good little ditty?
Yeah, baby. That's the ballad, you know? Nah, dude, that shit was super fun to finally get out. We made it pretty fucking ridiculous. Like, it just sounds...
Packaging was so fucking next level.
Sounds gnarly. Yeah, dude, the packaging, like, I've been, like, kind of worried that I was going to get packages returned because I actually made suicide pills to stick and ship out with each cassette that went out. So if you're thinking about purchasing one, do it now before I get shut down.
Don't worry, there's only 50. I wanna make sure we give a shout out. This was mixed by our buddy Sam Reisenhoover up in Portland of Dripwire. We had Stephen Glade from Void Dancer, the bass player from Clint's other band Void Dancer, do the bass on this. Clint gave a star-spangled performance on the vocals, and then we also had Shredder Brandon Zaki crushing the drum programming. Dude. We started this shit like when it wasn't like super deep into COVID, but we started it after like the insomnia started to or after the cabin fever really started to set in. We're like, oh God, we need to be doing something. We need to do something right now.
So we started reworking all those old songs and like making them better. Cause it was all like demos and shit that we would play live, but never gave a proper recording to.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I think it turned out pretty well. And yeah, dude, sick. Like Brandon Zaki jumping on was cool because he started to pop off. You know, like his bands are doing really well. He was filling in for Whitechapel, who was like one of our big influences for making that kind of shit, which was
for sure
cool as fuck to do.
Yeah, that was like a really strange fucking full circle moment.
Well, and then our other biggest influence, well, let's say we have big three. One of our other biggest influences, Surprise, dropped an EP like a month after that.
Yeah,
so
that was
I was like, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time for stupid caveman, like groovy deathcore.
Well, I feel like, honestly, my favorite part about, like, I love complicated, techie, progressive metal, but I don't want to hear that all the time. I don't want to have to count in my head. I don't want to have to think too hard about this. This is metal. It's supposed to just make me feel like I need to bash my head against something dense. And I feel like we accomplished that, I guess. This is, you know, it's like you said before, it's just straight to the point. 2 minutes average song length.
Super fun. All the shit is super misanthropic, super
negative,
negative and hateful, and
super
like,
on brand.
There's songs about just like killing everybody that's in a church. There's songs about natural disasters killing everyone. There is songs about how the world is fucking ending, and I'm just gonna kill everybody in the way until I die. So. But of course, it's all fiction, right? It's all fiction.
Yeah, it's feel-good anthems for a new age.
Eat your heart out, Miley Cyrus.
Again, like this is how we interpret the world. This is just we're like, we didn't do this. This is what's funny about this. This is just how we interpret it. But based on the stimulus that we were subjected to, this is what came out, and I'm very pleased. It's super short. It's $6.66. The tape packaging, fucking primo. You still need to send me my shit. I need.
I know, dude. I've got
that. I need that package. It's all good. But yeah, that's a cool little release. We got. I know we've done some others since the last time you were on, but would you rather talk about those, or would you talk about stuff we got coming up?
I think I can't remember if we talked about the newest Nuclear Dudes record. That was really sick. Nuclear Dudes is John from the band Sandrider, of like kind of stoner metal kind of fame in the Northwest. So, dude, we sold out of those tapes pretty fucking quick. It was able to get a little bit of buzz. We got on, our name was on some crazy metal sites, which is dope, but that album's fucking crazy, because he's just also just a madman who started during the pandemic. He's like, I have to do something, so he like, hey, I'm gonna like learn how to do synthesizer stuff and record, and he's just like been pumping out albums of just like crazy
Cyber grind,
dude. It's like, it's fucking nonsense, and this new one is just very like, it's like almost like an hour long, and it's got songs that are like 7 minutes long, but they're not all grind, like they're like turned into weird proggy synth metal things for a second, but then it like blasts your face off with lasers in the next like 30 seconds. So dude, yeah, shout out to old Nuclear Dudes. I think he's actually doing a live show, like his first live show coming up.
Nice. As Nuclear Dudes, fucking sick.
Yeah, so we're gonna go check that shit out. I think he's doing everything, and he got somebody to be a singer, like to do all the vocals, so that should be sick. Yeah, I think that's all we've come out with for the summer. It's just been a little crazy. Like, we've definitely been working with some new bands that we'll talk about a little bit. But those announcements are coming soon. I did a little weekend with Nurser in Oregon, which is super fun. Those dudes are just like, they're just the fucking heaviest grind band from around here. It fucking rules. All ages shows. We played under a bridge in Portland. It's like this super sick spot that like a cop drove by and he was like, I don't care. Like, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, you said that was Portland. Yeah, that's Portland for sure.
Dude, straight up, no. And like a cop drove by and everybody was like, oh, because everybody's like drinking outside. It's like an all ages thing, you know? So like all the bands are just like drinking in their vans and stuff.
Yeah,
and like
cops
cop
like,
drives by and he just like smiles. He's like cool. Thanks, bud. See ya. But yeah, man, that shit was crazy. Dude, couple weird all ages shows now are fucking insane, because it's not like it was when we were younger. There's hundreds of kids and they all look they all dress like we did when we were 13, but I don't know where they get the clothes because Hot Topic doesn't sell that shit anymore. So like they're all wearing like, dude, they're all wearing like giant baggy pants. Like there's kids that we played with this band who was all like, they're all like 17 to 20 years old. And they were like listening to shit that I was listening to when I was like 16 and thinking it was, and I was like, this is fucking surreal, dude. Like they're listening to like See You Next Tuesday and like old On Broken Wings mosh stuff. And
cycle continues,
dude. It's fuck. I know. I was like,
cycle continues.
I was talking to them. I was like, you guys are the fucking future. And then I was like, also, I was like, what's your name? One of them told me their name, and I said, is your dad blank? And they said, yep. And I said, I know your dad. I feel old as shit. Tell your dad I said, what's up? So there we go. And that's
how did you know their fucking dad?
Because their dad's a fucking cool ass metal dude who's like a little bit older than me, and I see him around town all the time. Sick. Yeah. And then the kid's like fucking 17. So it's like, you know, dude just had a kid when he was like 20. Yeah. But if that doesn't make you feel fucking old, I don't know what else does.
My creaky fucking knees, my back pain, my bills.
Yeah. Come to an all ages show under a bridge, buddy. It's great. Me trying to sell like my 35-plus-year-old friends on coming to that show was real fun. They're like, where's it at? What venue? I was like, it's not really
under a bridge. There's going to be a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Under a bridge next to like an auto body shop in an industrial part of town. You should come check it out, though. It'll be real cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this summer's been nuts. We do have a couple of announcements coming up. We've already announced kind of one of them, but it's a band called Magdalene from Portland. Their new album fucking rips. It's going to come out in the very end of October. So we'll be checking out some stuff from that soon. Our good friends in Self-Deprecator, shout out Biagio, who does a lot of artwork for us. Their new album's going to come out. It fucking rips too. I know you've heard that one for sure.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you've heard all these. And then we haven't announced it yet, but we'll just do a little sneak peek. Our boys, Rank and Vile from Portland. Shout out Matt, shout out Theo. We are going to come out with that record and might actually be on vinyl this time. So, seeing how it goes. But yeah, dude, all those bands fucking rip. Expect tour announcements, album announcements, shows, all that shit. So it'll be a good way to close out the year for us, but also broke as shit. So let's please buy some fucking records.
No one said this was a profitable enterprise. So
no, that on top of all my fucking friends having to fall in love and get married at the same time.
Yeah, you're getting
I'm flying all around the goddamn country. And then one of my other friends who, you know, just got engaged the other day and asked me to be the best man. And I was like, there's another $1,200 for next year, buddy. Let's
easily gone. Just gone forever.
Oh no, we have the memories. We'll have the memories.
And look, the comet might hit before then. So
God, I can only hope so.
Then you won't have to spend that $1,200. Yeah, that'll be a major drain on your resources.
What if that was the reason why I wanted the world to end? Just like $1,200.
I mean, I'm sure it's the reason why a lot of people want the world to end is because they have fucking bills to pay that they can't afford. Just saying. Not saying I agree with that at all.
No.
At all. Not at all.
No, not at all. But you know, if you're like 80,
people, you know. Yeah.
But if you're 80 and you're thinking about running for another term in Congress, maybe just let it happen. Maybe just,
I mean,
you know.
Tell me you've seen the fucking Mitch McConnell stroke.
Oh my God. Dude. I can't. They're like, I always think it's so weird when people get on like celebrities and shit and like they like to tear them down. I always think that's super weird because I'm like, why the fuck do you care so much about this like fucking person, whatever? But like, that's a motherfucker who I guess is a politician, but in the zeitgeist of things, right? When that dude dies, I'm going to be like, good. That's good. Glad that guy died.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them that I'm not going to necessarily feel bad when they pass on. But he's in charge right now. See, that's the scary thing is that if he were at home drooling on himself, it wouldn't affect me.
He doesn't make decisions for me.
Right. But he does make decisions for me. And I just don't see how anyone can look at this shit and take it seriously. Like, honestly, anyone can look at the modern political landscape and take this shit seriously. You have to be fucking tripping. I don't understand how you can look at the shit that happens on a daily basis, amplifying what happened previously with each day, and think that this is something that should be taken seriously and that these people can be entrusted and they're looking out for us. It's just, I don't know. Watching that turtle stroke out twice, get that man a bib and a wheelchair. He does not need to be running the country.
No.
And honestly, like, at least go back to the way it used to be, where you were trying to pretend that it wasn't as laughable as it is. Like back in the days where government has some kind of decorum, where they didn't want people to think they were a bunch of incompetent dickheads.
Yeah.
But they're not even trying anymore. They're not even trying to mask it. They're just like, oh, yep, we're sitting on committees that give us access to important financial information, and we're basing our personal trades off of this insider information that we have. Oh, we're going to have limitless terms that'll allow us to die in office, even as they're literally puppeting our corpse to make decisions in the fucking, in the Senate and Congress. I don't know. It's just, it bewilders me. That I hate the conversation, and like political season's coming up too. So everyone wants, it's like a topic, and Trump's going to run again. So everyone's trying to talk about it. And I really hate it when people like ask me about it, because I'm very honest, and most people are personally offended that I think that it is that way. But I just don't see how any reasonable individual can look at the shit that we see on the news every day coming out of Washington, D.C. and think that those people have our best interests in mind. I don't know.
No, dude. But I think that's like a general sentiment, though. Like, I think people on both sides feel that way, but then they're just divided by a stupid little things like $1,200 or whatever. Because even like, what's that one country song that's going around that everybody's talking about, like that Richmond, North of Richmond song that everybody's like freaking out about, where that guy's like, but he's basically saying the same shit. He's like, yeah, these people don't have my fucking best interest in mind. But then everybody turns one little thing he says about a welfare thing to it. And it's like, okay, so now you just like, guy's got a good voice, good song.
Well, the conservatives were trying to co-opt it, thinking it was an anti-liberal message.
Yes.
And what his message was fuck all of you politicians. Fuck all of you. You're all scumbags.
Yeah.
That was great. That song is great. And I've seen a couple of interviews he did, and he is just savagely honest about that in the same way. I love it when that backfires like that. But yeah, I would
get him. They'll get him. Ticketmaster will get him soon. He'll be Rage Against the Machine down.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Him and Tom Morello just up there like.
Yeah. Taylor Swift. People are like trying to get him like Taylor Swift tickets. The sentiment is high, but people still cling to their party. It's fucking sports, dude. They can't let go of their fucking team, and people just can't stop to realize, like, if I think the other side of the political spectrum are all a bunch of liars and cheats and thieves, but my side isn't, it's just stupid. It's like comically naive. And for anyone to think that whatever corruption they accuse their opponents of, their own party isn't or hasn't actively done, it's just, I mean, dude, people love their teams. They don't want to give up their team.
We've talked about this before, though, and there's no like, and that's why I arrive at that thing where I was saying earlier, where I was like, I'm just trying to have a good time, man. I don't care. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, we're not going to bring down this.
We're not. I have no desire to. It's not our responsibility. I didn't ask for that to be my fucking job, and it's definitely not my job. So I don't have any emotional stake in trying to fix problems that were happening decades before I was even jizz.
What are you gonna? Okay. Are you gonna swarm the Senate?
Precisely. You
gonna January 6th again and just make a fucking mockery of that?
More than January 6th was a mockery of itself. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. But no, I'm not. I don't have those delusions of grandeur. I'm not, you know what I mean? We were always realistic, and we understood that if we were going to have any impact to change the world, it would be through music. Again, and taking in the stimulus and regurgitating out something that is just slightly less destructive than what went into it. And that's what we do. We interpret the world that way, and that's what we offer. It ain't much, and it might not even be helping, but that's what we offer, and that's what we're gonna do, because
that shit is so, like, I'm realizing this year too, of just like digging into all that, like all that shit's so fucking co-opted and just like taken over and monetized that, like, it's so hard to make a fucking difference in any of that shit because everybody's just going through the same outlets to do the same things.
Yep.
And it's just like, I don't know. I know that makes me sound like I don't see the point in anything. I'm still doing it because I have to, because I'm not good at anything else. but
it's just what we do.
Yeah.
It's just what we do. Like, we can't help it. We can't help that we're this way. We just are this way. And this is how we have to do. Like, people don't find a way to properly digest all the traumatic stimulus. And that turns into a number of different things. We just found a way to channel it. Most people don't. Most people just bottle it up, and it, flares up somewhere else in their life, and they murder somebody or storm the Capitol or something completely moronic like that. But we found a way to channel it, so that's what we do. I feel like that's the one advantage. And if in the greater cosmic scheme of things, if our existence on this planet is to just experience life, I want to do the least amount of bootlicking possible.
Yeah.
I want to do the least amount of serving other people possible. The general sentiment is high, dude. Fucking union awareness and union involvement in corporate America is, again, bubbling up in a way that it hasn't in decades. People's awareness of inflation and how hard the chips are stacked against them, that is raising. People's awareness of that is much more. I mean, dude, I remember Zeitgeist, dude. 2012, we were watching Zeitgeist, and they were talking about digital currency, and we would tell people about this shit, and they'd be like, "That'll never happen." Here we are.
Yeah, maybe not the exact same way that was described, like much less like sinister as it was described.
We'll
but it's
see.
like it's still having the same effect. Like, it's just
for sure. And we'll see if at some point, as the American dollar's value starts to further devalue, we'll see if they end up doing what they said in Zeitgeist, which was have a European Union equivalent currency between Canada, North America, and Mexico. It was like the Amero is what they called it.
Yeah.
Zeitgeist. We'll see if that actually happens, but like we're there, dude. Like shit that people I mean, it's a serious conversation now, even with like the shit in Hawaii, where they think it's fucking lasers. They think it's directed energy weapons. Like, this is
like all that HARP shit that we were talking about.
No, seriously. It's the same, but now the awareness is just much greater because the information has so many other ways to get in front of people's faces. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting in the sense that I can sense it like deep in my intuition. There's like some monumental shifts going on.
I just hope it's entertaining, man. That's all,
we'll be the judge of that. Okay, we'll be the judge. I'm going to interpret it as entertainment. Like for me, half of the enjoyment of being able to witness that is literally what a time to be alive. Like, of all the people that were alive on this planet, if we could be here to witness one of the cataclysmic events that erases all existing life on Earth for a period of time, that'd be kind of sick. It'd be super fucking metal.
I'm not even saying like a cataclysmic event, just keep something entertaining, because what's been going on lately, it's just like you said, it's just like, it's all just sad and dark, and it's like you're not even trying anymore. It's like, at least fucking like,
well,
if this shit's going to fucking idiocracy, make a fucking wrestler president and then fucking like, let's see some shit.
We're the ones who are going to have to interpret it, because it's not going to get better. And even Idiocracy is a funny movie because you're watching it knowing it's a movie. If you were experiencing that, it'd be horrifying. You know what I mean? Like, it would feel the same way that it feels like everything is like, what? You're giving plants Gatorade?
Yeah.
What? You elected a wrestler president? Like, we're not that far off, considering how people rely on Mountain Dew, and Donald Trump was our president, and Jesse Ventura was a governor, and
Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
my God, yeah, totally forgot about that.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, 2032.
He might, honestly, and he probably could, because he's got star appeal, dude. He's got star appeal.
Like, I'd vote for the Rock, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, who's going to defeat the communists?
Who is literally going to crush Putin's skull with his bare hands?
Dude, he's already got catchphrases. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kevin Hart is like his best friend,
dude.
Vice President Hart for VP.
Johnson and Hart. Let's go.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks. But like, see what I mean? Like, we're gonna be responsible for making it funny, because it's not gonna be funny. It's not like on the surface, it's gonna be a very dismal situation, but it's gonna require our sharp, biting, sarcastic perspective to look at it and derive some enjoyment from it. And I'm telling you this much. I haven't got to enjoy that much of my life in my life. And I don't think most people do. If you really boil it down, like, you get a few happy moments. I'll be God damned if I don't get to enjoy that one. You know what I mean?
I just want to laugh at some shit. Don't take that away from me. They can't win.
They can't.
If you're still laughing,
they can't ever take that away from you. Even if they shoot you in the head.
Or they cut your tongue out.
Or your dick and balls off and then cram them in your mouth after they cut your tongue off.
Then everything's that's kind of funny in itself. I mean, not like at the time, but like say I had some
in retrospect, kind of funny. Like the guy who at Pompeii cranked one out.
Yeah.
Like that was the last thing he did. And then he got encased in ash, cranking one out.
Yeah. LOL. LOL, my dude.
Yeah, you really
forever immortalized, a legend.
Yeah, but it's super dark, I'm just really happy that we found another group of people and artists who interpret the world the same way we do. Rank and Vile shit, I was sold as soon as I saw that fucking artwork, before I even heard any of the music, because the artwork is it's primo. It's like, it's strange to see like the apocalypse topic being so readily available in the popular lexicon. Like everyone has entertained an apocalypse scenario. Everyone's thinking about it. Everyone has thought about it at least once since COVID. It's just funny. 10 years ago, we were the Debbie Downers at the parties, but now I feel like, I don't know, it's just a thing people are a little more aware of.
Oh yeah. It's coming. So laugh it up.
Live it up before you die it up.
Well, dude, it's just like when I remember, I'm sure we all do, but it's like when like Donald Trump got elected and I was at a bar like watching it with and a bunch of people started crying and I'm like, I live in Seattle too, so super blue state, whatever, super blue area. But like, you know, women were crying, everything. But now, like in retrospect, now all you have to do is go like China, and then people start laughing because they're like, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, right? Like, I don't know. So just keep that in mind as these terrible things happen to you. They can't win if you're still laughing.
Yeah, again, the problem ain't going to be us.
No.
The problem ain't going to be us.
No.
The problem's going to be
me. So leave me alone. So leave me alone. Like, let me do my shit. Don't try to wrap me up in some nonsense. Stop. Every fucking corner I go on now where there's like a fucking something going on, there's somebody like, hey, do you want to help out with the thing? I'm like, what's my signature and $20 going to do? Fuck off. Leave me alone. I'm walking my fucking dog. I'm walking here. I'm walking my old ass dog.
Yeah.
Just trying to go get some fucking seltzers.
You know, and there's like the piece of you that's like, you know, you want to be a humanitarian.
Yeah, no, of course. But I'm also at the same time, I ain't hurting anybody. And if I do, it's unintentional. And if I feel like it's an apology is warranted, I will give one. However, nothing I do should fucking offend anybody. I'm not out there fucking with anybody who's not fucking with me, you know?
Yeah, fuck them.
I don't know. I feel like I used to be more confrontational, but now these days I pick a lane, I stay in it. If you're in my lane and you try to block me, then I'm going to fuck with you. If you're next to me in traffic, I'll wave. You wave in traffic. That's what you do. I've been doing this to people lately. Nobody, if you're watching the video, it's funny, but like when people driving by, you just go like slowly grasp it into a hand, and it's just become such a funny thing because I'll do it to people passing on the street as well. It's just a nice way to say like hello.
They don't like
and I acknowledge you. No, they don't
really
like it at all. They don't like it at all.
It's you know, I don't know, man. I constantly fluctuate between do I want more humanity or less humanity? Do I want more humanity or less humanity?
Dude, I think about that all the time. Dude, we live in two of the most like densely populated areas. I mean, you especially, but like we live in big cities. So every day I always have that thought. It's like, man, either like I'm going to buy a house and like get some shit and like just settle down here and do it. Or I'm just like, I'm going to move out to the fucking middle of nowhere and just make a life. That's Clint's time. I can do whatever I want. That's Clint's world. I'm learning to play the banjo. I'll get a 4-wheeler.
Oh my God. Really? Is that really what you're going to do?
Dude, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me?
Is that really what you're going to do? Yeah. You know, I hear that. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, I want a fucking bunker.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I just don't, I'm sure there's like this is like some response to some trauma I had as a kid, but like, I just don't trust people.
No.
I don't trust them.
No.
I don't trust them, and I don't like it when they start grouping up. I just don't like it. Every time.
Like
every time. Well, dude, bro, unions were corrupted. Right? This is what happens when people start grouping into clumps and an order emerges, and then special access to resources. You know, like this is what I'm saying.
It starts with the best intentions,
but it fucking
and it never goes well.
Always gets corrupted. I just don't.
What was that? You know what I've been thinking about lately? What was that? What was that experiment like Universe 21 or whatever? It was Universe 23 or something, where that guy just basically he was just observing like rats' social behavior, and so he would basically just have this big this big kind of terrarium thing and just set it up and let rats breed and start to go together. And he noticed that, you know, this one colony in particular was like, oh, it's like very successful, everybody's mating, everybody's sharing food, but then once it got overpopulated, some rats begin to like show signs of like mental distress and like weird
Universe 25.
Universe 25, that's what it was. Yeah. And like some rats just became like smaller. So then like a larger race came up and started bullying and being really aggressive to the smaller ones. Rats stopped mating. They stopped eating. They started having these weird physical deformities. And it's like, yeah, if that isn't what's happening to people because there's too many of us on this fucking earth, then I don't know what the fuck's happening. And that's just our future. That's just what it is. That's just
that is what it is. And again, like these are the zoom out moments that most people just don't do. Like they like to think that what we're experiencing now is somehow insanely different from what every other being on this planet has experienced. And what I keep trying to beat into people's heads is, no, it's not. It's always been like this, even since before society. This is the way of the animal kingdom, I'm sure. Yeah. If we look at the bell curve as populations wax and wane, there's a portion of that bell curve where everything's in balance. But then when there's too many, there's not enough food. When there's not enough, there's too much food. You know, it's just one of those things, dude, where like people just can't. They think we're going to figure out a solution. We're not. No. It should be super obvious by this point. We have no solution. We don't even have an exit strategy.
Try and figure it out. Yeah.
It's not the people who are running shit. They definitely don't have an exit strategy. They'll run the shit into the mountain.
They're like, yeah, space. We're just going to get the fuck off.
I'm just going to go to Mars. Fuck you.
And that's not even going to work.
Probably not. And it doesn't matter. Like, that's another fucking lame ass existence. You want me to fly to Mars to colonize a planet?
Yeah, I watched that
sucks.
Movie. He was just
boring as fuck. Yeah, I don't want to eat potatoes. Fuck potatoes.
Kill me.
Yeah, and then Ed Norton tries to steal my thunder. Was it Ed Norton? Yeah, it was Ed Norton.
Was it? I don't remember. Who else was that? Was that Matt Damon in that movie?
It was Matt Damon. He was the Martian, and then he like bumps into Ed Norton. He tries to fucking kill him out there.
Just bumps into him out on Mars.
Well, he's like, it's part of the stupid fucking story. Who cares? It's not real. It didn't happen. Okay, we didn't do that yet. But you know, I
do that yet.
It's just it's fucking comical, dude. And I just the only thing I give a shit about anymore is just doing the creative shit I want to do, because it's the only, like, so much of my waking life is cognitive dissonance with what's happening around me. I just can't make sense of it. And the only thing that brings me any kind of peace or allows me to make sense is doing something where I'm expressing myself, whether it's releasing our own shit or releasing other people's shit. Because even just the process of putting out records it's the same, you know, metaphorical process of creation. I don't know. That's where I find the peace. None of the rest of this shit matters. None of the rest of this shit is relevant. Jobs will come and go. People will come and go. The only thing that matters is I need to be able to fucking handle my shit. I need to be able to look around me as things are melting down and not melt down with it. And it's hard. I struggle every day.
You know, sometimes you wanted a bunker and you just settled for a bunk bed, brother.
Yes, you know? Exactly right. Sometimes you wanted a house. Other times you get a bedazzled coffin. That's about it, you know?
That bedazzled coffin.
I love that. Did you see that TikTok that I sent you? How that story is still like making the rounds? There's a bunch of people down by where they were stockpiling those coffins in Georgia.
In Georgia? Oh, okay.
They just moved a bunch, and it was suspiciously right before like the Hawaii shit, and that is still a thing that people are keeping tabs on. And dude, another funny thing that I don't know if we talked about, bombing of the Georgia Guidestones. Didn't Ancients stop by the Georgia Guidestones on tour one time? Or were you going to try to?
I don't think we ended up doing it, but we like wanted to. That was hard because as much as like intellectual shit as we try to talk about, most people in that band were fucking idiots. So like,
yeah, I'm sure Blaze didn't want to talk about it. Yeah,
dude, they just wanted to smoke weed, eat Taco Bell, and like finger girls.
Cool.
But in the end, hey, that's your right. If you just want a finger blast with a Baja Blast,
even more reason why they should have gone and read the Georgia Guidestones. You know what I mean?
But hey, what are you gonna do?
You know, no, you used to disagree with them, but now you kind of agree with them.
Yeah, I used to be like way more, I guess, like hippie-ish about that shit, which is ironic because I've done way more mushrooms since then. So you would think
I think we were just a little more convinced that something could be done.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we saw a little bit more of the world and we realized, oh no, nothing can be done about this.
Yeah. There's nothing that can be done. There will be no great awakening. There will just be a great cataclysm.
Yeah. A great sleepening. And that's a great note on how to end this episode. The great sleepening. Clint, I want to thank you for coming on. Let's wait until we get these next couple releases out, but let's have you come on here and do this again. We can play some clips from the new releases and stuff.
Oh, I would absolutely love to.
Is there anything else you want to tell the people?
I love you. I love everyone. I don't know. Fuck. Be nice to each other, but stay the fuck out of my way. All right.
Well, that's such a cheery and uplifting message. All right. Well, this has been the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. Like, subscribe. We just crossed 100. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
This has been the Totally Legitimate Business Podcast. The end. With your host, James Oliva. Executive producers, Clint Gee and James Oliva.
That's obnoxious.
Sound design, mix, and master by James Oliva.
Literally no one cares.
For more Totally Legitimate Business, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Totally Legitimate Business or add us on TikTok at TLB Pod.
When will this end?
Thank you for listening. Now get back to work.
Move it along, buddy.